Alright, nerds. So today we're going to talk about the second lot of groups in the periodic table. Alright, so basically by the end of this you should be able to identify the properties of these groups. That's groups 4, group 7, and group 8, the noble gases. Alright, so you need to remember that trends exist in the periodic table, and this allows us to group them in periodic families. Alright, so we'll start off with group 4. Now, group 4 is this group here, and that contains it's the first group that starts your metals. One thing that we don't mention here is they can have a valency of plus or minus 4. Okay, so they're in group 4, they've got 4 electrons in the outer shell. They have a wide range of properties, like they really vary quite a lot, and carbon can have a lot of different properties just as an atom itself. So they're very useful in electronics and they are highly conductive. So carbon makes excellent electrodes, but it also makes diamond. Whereas we've also got, there should be a picture of turned up here, but it's disappeared. Silicon, germanium, tin, and lead are all useful in electronics. Now move to group 7, the halogens. Now these groups tend to be pretty nasty actually. These are the really dangerous ones that we tend to not let you play around with too much. So they're group 7, and they all form -1 ions. Okay, they have 7 electrons in the outer shell, so it's easier for them to just gain one. If they gain 1 electron, well, then they've got a charge of -1 because they've got 1 more electron than they do protons. They are very reactive, and they're super dangerous. This one here will kill you as a gas very easily, so will chlorine. In fact, chlorine's been used as a weapon repeatedly. We use this to sterilize stuff. They're very reactive, and they increase in reactivity as we go up the group. They're not found in nature in its native form, and that's because they're just basically too reactive. They all display similar chemical properties. So they're all very similar, very reactive, and will just essentially strip hydrogens off other compounds. And they all form diatomic compounds, diatomic elements, which means this, okay? So they all exist in pairs whenever they are as a gas. All right. Our final group we're going to talk about are the noble gases, and that's group 8, and these guys here. So essentially, they all have similar properties, and they are all colorless gases. They are all inert and extremely unreactive. The reason they're unreactive is they have 8 electrons in the outer shell, so they're stable. They're just chilled. They don't need to bother with anyone else. And they have a stable octet in the outer shell. They're all also colorless and exist in native in nature. That we only see them, they're all very useful in different lights though. So we see we can use them in different lights to make different colors when we run electricity through them. And that's when the electrons get excited and set up all the different colors. Alright, that's a lot, and we'll see you in class.